The keynote of this lesson is simple. The person who has learned to discipline himself cannot be disciplined by others. Conversely, the person who has not learned self-discipline is sure to be disciplined by others. Now let me give you some of the musts, the areas in which one must discipline himself if he expects to rise to the top level of success. First, take possession of your own mind. Keep it busy with the things you want and off the things you don't. That point alone could be a sermon. Think about it. The Creator gave you control over one thing, the right to choose how you use your mind. That should tell you just how important that one thing is. And it probably is the most important thing, because it alone determines your earthly destiny. Next, repeat your major purpose in writing, at least twice a day, as a prayer. Why? Because this repetition drives the idea deep into your subconscious. And once it's there, the subconscious mind goes to work on it right away. If you don't give your subconscious a clear picture of what you want, it will drift into fields of confusion and attract what you don't want. Next, engage in at least one act of going the extra mile every day. You'll not only win more friends, you'll eventually have an army of them. But more importantly, each time you go the extra mile, you grow yourself. Next, discipline yourself to write out a list of all your blessings and give thanks for them once a day. This may be the most important self-discipline of all, because prayers of gratitude bring the fastest and best results. I remember back in the early days, I'd only pray when I was in trouble. I wanted help, and often got nothing but silence in return. But when I learned to give thanks, sincerely, for the blessings I already had, that's when everything started to change. I made new friends, my finances improved, my life took a new direction, all because I was grateful for what I already had. And if you ever feel hate for someone, discipline yourself to convert that hate into pity. Pity that they don't conduct themselves in a way that allows you to love them. You don't have to love everyone, but you don't need to carry hate either. That's a burden that only hurts you. Next, discipline yourself to close the door firmly on all past failures and unpleasant experiences. Most people spend too much time dwelling on what went wrong. I've had my fair share of failures, but if you asked me to list them now, I couldn't. Why? Because I shut that door and nailed it tight. I live in the present and the yet unborn future. It took discipline to learn that, but I did it. Next, develop a success consciousness by seeing yourself already in possession of all you need. Dress the way you'd dress if you were already successful. Associate with the kind of people you'd be around if you were where you want to be. Drive the car, live in the home, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, before it shows up physically. Next, choose someone you'd like to emulate, and begin thinking and acting like them as closely as you can. Back when I began disciplining Napoleon Hill, I had a big task on my hands. I had to rebuild him from the ground up. So I created my invisible counselors, as I described in Think and Grow Rich, a table of the greatest minds I admired. Every night, I'd hold imaginary meetings with these men. It became so vivid that I could see them walking in and taking their seats. Eventually, it got so real, I had to stop because I couldn't tell whether it was imagination or reality. But it worked. Their qualities began to transfer to me. I started as a hero worshiper. I still am. But I'm very selective about the kind of heroes I choose. Remember, the person who becomes master of himself cannot be mastered by others. And when you face temporary defeat or something painful, begin looking immediately for the seed of equal or greater benefit. It's always there. When my mother died at age 9, I couldn't possibly see any benefit in that. But years later, it was clear. My stepmother, the woman who took her place, changed my life. She was the key to me becoming the man who could speak to the world. Discipline yourself, even in simple things. Take your eating, drinking, and sexual habits in stride. but be sure they don't take you in stride. And last, if you feel the urge to speak ill of someone, don't say it. Write it in the sand, near the water's edge. Let the tide take it away. Where does self-discipline start? Right at the source. 1. Failing to live with purpose. 2. Letting the mind drift. 3. Being influenced by negative people. Lack of self-discipline shows up in dozens of ways. No plan for self-improvement. Allowing self-doubt to creep in. Limiting beliefs. Thinking more of failure than of success. So, what do? Give yourself a title. Call yourself top producer, creative director, leader. Lie to your subconscious until it believes you. Eventually, it will. That's how I did it. Carnegie told me, look yourself in the mirror morning and night and say, Andrew Carnegie, I will not only match you, I'll pass you. At first, I felt ridiculous, but soon I believed it. And then I became it. I don't have as much money as Carnegie, but I don't need it. I have all I need, and that is success. Now listen carefully. Failure shows up automatically. You don't have to plan for it. But success must be designed. You must plant the seed before you expect to reap the harvest. You must take responsibility before pointing fingers. And stop expecting something for nothing. This country, this world, was built by people who took risks, who worked for their rewards, not by those waiting for handouts. Let me leave you with this. Quit blaming others. Look in the mirror. Don't quit when the going gets hard. Push through, like I did with Carnegie. Stop drifting. Learn from nature. Observe how it moves with harmony and law. Don't mind everyone else's business. Focus on your own. Discipline your tongue. Sharpen your ears. Ask useful questions. Show gratitude. Be tolerant of others. Respect yourself enough to respect your time. Keep great company. Speak with power. Live with structure. And never forget, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That's the end of this lesson, and I thank you. Now take what you've learned and go build your legacy.